This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai. Check out the Southtown Hyundai Advantage at southtownhyundai.ca.
It's time for Overrated, Underrated with Ryder and Lisa.
Overrated. Having your nails done. Look at this. Nothing. They're naked.
Oh, I thought you were like bragging about them. I'm like, those don't look done.
Yeah. That's what I like because now it's not something on my to-do list when they start to chip or they're growing out and then I gotta go natch. Really into it right now. I actually caught a scene of The Bachelor when you were watching it yesterday because you love it. Ryder PVRs it and then watches it after work.
It's better PVR because you can fast forward through the dull, like the one-on-ones. I'm here for the drama.
Yeah, true. But there's one girl on there and I was shocked to see that she had nails. But she's the one girl that everybody hates on the show. Shanae. But I had respect for her because...
No, you don't have to have respect for her.
No nail polish.
She's awful.
And I've been rocking that lately. Feels really good.
You actually kind of look like her, come to think of it.
I'm okay with that. As much as she's a terrible person, she's really pretty.
Yeah, you guys have a lot in common. All right, I'm going to go with underrated today, and it's spring. Now, listen, I know it's not spring right now.
You can't be bringing up spring when it's minus 18 today.
We're halfway there.
Okay.
We're literally, today is the halfway point between the first day of winter and the first day of spring. And I just think spring is underrated. Slow pitch and golf and campfires and spring storms with the window open so you can smell the rain and mud bogging, beers outside. Ugh. Sign me up.
When you start to slowly transition into a spring jacket, too.
Yeah.
Oof.
When you hang up your winter jacket downstairs because you're not going to wear it for 6 months. Ugh.
Best feeling.
Put it in my veins.
Ryan texted in, you can always contribute to Overrated, Underrated. We love hearing your thoughts, especially this early in the morning. Underrated. Nail clippers. Mine's rusted shut, so I have to use my kitchen scissors, and I miss the satisfying click that they make. I miss having the nail launch off and dent the wall.
Thank you, Ryan. That's 2 days in a row Ryan's got his way into Overrated, Underrated.
Well, I actually bullied him into it. So he wrote in about an Overrated, Underrated last week, and I said, can you contribute more? We love hearing from our listeners with this segment. And he has not disappointed. He's been writing in like every day since.
I think we need to give him the listener of the
year.
Week.
Oh.
No, we wouldn't give him of the year.
Okay, why do men have nipples? I'm doing this new thing where I just want to learn random facts about anything. Like if somebody were to bring that up, I'd know the answer now.
Mm-hmm.
Because why do men have nipples gets an average of over 22,000 monthly Google searches. Apparently, we're all just as clueless as Darwin, who pondered that exact same question back in the 18th century.
Well, may I ask, I don't know if you'll know this answer, but I think men can be trained to breastfeed.
Well, they actually can. There's a tribe in Central Africa who are actually known to nurse their babies.
The men are.
The men are.
Man,
but
I'd be good at that. I got some big ass man boobs.
Yeah, you got some long nips.
Hey, no,
but,
I don't have long
nips. Sorry. But there are some cases of men who lactate, but that can actually be in response to starvation or extreme hormone imbalance, and it's very rare. So if that's happening to you and you're listening right now, you got to get that checked ASAP. But why do men have nipples? It's kind of pointless.
They are far from pointless.
Well, the sexual stimulation.
Pointing right at you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the first few weeks after conception, the male and female embryo will follow the exact same development path. And it's not until the 6th or 7th week that the productive organs start to develop and the fetus begins to differentiate by sex. And at that point, the nipples are already there. So before it's deciding what you're going to be, it's too late. The nipples are there. So that is why men have nipples. Now, it's interesting to me that they haven't been, evolutionally removed. Mm-hmm. But I guess that's why. Because
there are a lot of useless things out there, though.
Yeah.
That are just there.
Like pet rocks.
Or like arguing on the internet. arts degrees, the FBI warnings on DVDs, wasps, the Pope's testicles.
No, there's a reason we have wasps. I could do an entire segment on that.
The button that lets you share porn on Facebook. Nobody does that.
Oh my gosh, that's always my fear. I'm like, if I'm ever like, I don't know, I'm like, what if I exit out of this and then I'm getting all these notifications on Facebook and like my mom's calling me and she's like, you shared something on the timeline. I think you got hacked.
It's something about male nipple stimulation.
Play 107.
For Valentine's Day this year, instead of celebrating couples, you have each other to celebrate. We decided to shed the light and give all the love to our first responders, healthcare workers. So we're asking you to nominate at play107.com/win if you want to get directly there.
Yeah, or we could send you the link on the text line right now if you want it.
Sure, and just let us know about your healthcare worker or first responder. Tell us a little bit about them, and they're immediately qualified to win a very sweet prize pack.
Yeah, and it could be anyone, your husband, your wife, your siblings, your parents, your friends, coworker, whatever.
I just reading one here that was submitted recently. It says, my hero has worked long hours, like 14-hour days, gone weeks with no days off. She's a nurse at the Glenrose. She also does home care. I hope she wins because she really deserves it. She's taking extra shifts when people can't come in because of COVID or because they're not vaccinated. She also has been training new workers like crazy.
Unsung heroes of our world. So again, that's play107.com/win, or I can send you the direct link. The prize that they could win is a feel-good package. So our friends at Confetti Sweets have a gift card. Estelle Academy of Hair Design wants to give them a nice little spa day, a hair service, and something sexy from Bayberry's Intimates. So again, play107.com/win.
I wonder if they have like nurse outfits.
Oh, probably.
That like a double as like a romantic outfit, and you could wear it to work if it was like laundry day.
I doubt they would.
Okay.
But
what is the grossest thing to share?
I'm going to stick with my answer, a glass of milk.
You also mentioned anything with a straw. So like a glass of milk with a straw, would that be like the peak for you?
So sick. Or when someone offers you like the last sip of their Gatorade with the suckle top.
Yeah, the suckle top. Good point. That's grosser to share. Yeah. See, the last sip of like a Caesar would be with a straw. If somebody like didn't like it was too spicy at the bottom or something, or too vodka, yeah. I would have no problem with that.
Vodka kills everything.
Exactly. See, I'm not easily grossed out, but one happened yesterday, and I think this is my new front runner for the grossest thing to share. My daughter's like, "Hey, can you hold this?" and gives me like a fudgicle that was kind of melty a little bit, but you could see all her like lick marks all around it. And she's like, "You can have a few licks, but don't take a bite." And I was like, "I'm good, thanks." Like even holding it was grossing me out.
You just got a text from Judy from Spruce Grove saying an ice cream cone is gross to share. So same vibes.
Yeah, same vibes.
But do you remember that scene from Beethoven where there's a girl sitting on the bench and there's a dog beside her and she's taking a lick of the cone and then the dog takes a huge slurp and then she takes a lick? I would share one with a dog, not a human, personally.
That's so strange.
Lauren says gum. People don't share gum, do they? Ew, especially if they just ate something first and then there's little food particles in the piece of gum.
We got a call the other day from a girl that said that her kid grabbed the gum from underneath the Subway counter. She's like, "Where'd you get that gum from?" And then they pointed, and there was a bunch of gum under the counter at Subway.
Okay.
And this kid had just peeled off a piece.
I have a confession, and I'm not proud of it.
I'm ready for it.
When I was younger, this is sick. I used to pick up cigarette butts and pretend to smoke them. Like I'd put them in my mouth.
Yeah, that's super nasty.
Well, obviously, like this is when my parents weren't looking because like they would smack me across the head if they
for
knew.
like numerous reasons.
For numerous reasons, yeah. I liked the texture of the foamy.
Do you think that's
filter.
where the cold sores started?
I've never had a cold sore.
Oh.
There's zits on my lip.
Okay.
Lips have pores that clog.
Sure. You said you saw a TikTok video about a gross thing to share.
Yeah, there's this woman who was just casually doing a story in her work truck. And then as she was finishing the video, she went to put her mask on and instantly threw it across the vehicle. She's like, "That is my coworker's mask." And she knew because it smelled like cigarettes.
Yes. Steve says my 14-year-old daughter said a retainer would be the grossest thing to share. That is disgusting.
Well, everybody's mouth is shaped different too. Like it's not even worth the
wouldn't
risk.
Be comfortable.
Sean says anything to do with a spoon. There's too much contact. When you give someone some of your ice cream and they leave behind residue. Okay, we got to talk about when people share cans of anything. When you were in high school, did you used to say take your friends?
Yeah, or like no backsies.
We used to say take your friends, and that's when someone would take a sip of your pop, and if there was some pop left in the little rib, they'd have to go back and go, take your friends. That's
wow, that was a great sound effect.
Thank you.
And Kelly says sharing underwear. I do remember having to put on somebody else's shirt once, and they had wet armpit stains. Like it was just damp in the armpits, and that sticks with me. That was pretty nasty.
Yeah.
You'd like to correct yourself on a word before we get into this next call.
Yeah. Earlier I said nauseousness. That's not a word,
No,
is it?
nausea.
Nausea.
Nausea is what you were looking for.
Such a shame over after we turned the mics off. I was like, did I just say nauseousness? He's like, yep.
Nausea, best day as a broadcaster, I'll tell you that. Okay, what do you got?
When I was in college, my roommate, actually, he wouldn't ask. He would actually enjoy taking my socks out of my drawer and wearing them. And I'd always come home and I'd always have socks missing. And he would happily wear my socks. There's a few occasions where he's like, hey Alex, hey, I don't have any underwear. I'm seeing this girl tonight. Do you mind if I borrow a pair? It's like, no.
Yeah, that's way too far. Even washed, like...
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
You know, washed socks, I could wear a buddy's pair of socks if I needed to. I don't think I could wear even washed buddy's underwear.
No.
So he didn't even care if they were washed socks or not. He didn't have any socks of his own.
Time for another episode of What's Happening in Maidstone. The Facebook page gets a lot of traction. It's become the new coffee row where, you know, people vent, the rumors start.
It's the new hair salon.
I just found a new post from Jenny that wrote, "Can someone help me? I need a boost."
Oh, no. Cold weather.
Jim responded with, "It's time to stop thinking the jab is going to save you. If you haven't learned that yet, I'm afraid I'm speaking to deaf ears." Jenny responded with, "I meant a boost for my car, not a booster shot, Jim. I forgot to plug in last night. Once I get a boost, though, I'm going to drive to the pharmacy to see if they can give me my third shot, though. Thanks for the reminder." And Jim responded with the eye roll emoji.
Dang.
Things are heating up.
The Nostalgia Off with Ryder and Lisa.
From Ustara and Company.
Play 107.
I have a wager I would like to pitch your way. I don't know if you want to get in on this, you versus me.
Okay, I want to get in on it because I'm feeling very confident about my list today.
Okay, then maybe I'm good. I don't.
Why? What was it going to be?
Well, it was going to be that the loser has to buy the winner a pair of throwback shoes, like dope throwback shoes. Maybe like a budget of, I don't know, $100, something like that. But now, why don't we do those laces that just twist at the end?
Oh my gosh, the
that
twirlies.
Spiral? We'll do that instead.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear those though.
You seem pretty confident, so.
Those are probably 50 cents.
Okay, deal.
Okay, anyway, all you have to do as the listener is vote. Whose list brings you back more?
Opening the fridge at your at your friend's parents' place, and it being a whole new weird world.
Okay, I have a good one about friends' families too. Getting a ride from your friend's mom to practice and being uncomfortable because they just argued the entire drive while you sat silently in the back of the van.
Everyone ordering porn star shots back in the day. The blue Curacao and red sourpuss. And then the real ones ordering it as a drink with some Sprite in it.
You'd be like, oh, I'm so drunk. No, you're just on a sugar high. Putting your purses on the ground on a dance floor and dancing around them in a circle at the club. Yes.
Getting your first pair of skater shoes, then trying to ride a skateboard and realizing you're probably just going to use those shoes to walk.
The sheer panic when a teacher would randomly announce that it was time for a Mad Minute math quiz. One time, all of the answers were 0. And it took us a long time as a group collectively, like grade 1, to realize this. Grade 2, maybe. Good times.
And this one, I'm going way back. I think the target audience of it may not know how to text. But if you do, 780-784-7107, going home for lunch at school and watching the Flintstones.
Nice. And my last one is when you would share your pop can with a friend and then they would leave remnants of pop on the rim and you'd be like, no, take your friends.
780-784-7107. A quick recap of our lists. Go ahead, Lise.
Take your friends. Getting a ride from your friend's mom and listening to them just argue the entire route. Putting your purse on the ground on the dance floor and dancing around them in a circle with your friends. And the sheer panic when the teacher would announce it's time for a mad minute math quiz.
My list is the fridge at your friend's parents' place being a whole new world. Everyone ordering porn star shots, but only the real ones ordering it as a drink. Getting your first pair of skater shoes, even though you had no idea how to skateboard, and Flintstones on TV at lunch. 780-784-7107.
Get your vote on, Ryder or Lisa, and you're instantly entered to win that Skip the Dishes gift card. I think we should do the bet. I think we should do the loser has to buy the winner throwback shoes, just based off of the text line so far.
No, we're doing the laces. Listen, I got to talk to you about something.
Okay.
And it's pretty serious. I overheard you do this yesterday, and you also did it with me at Christmas. When you get something as a gift, you ask where they got it from.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if the answer always makes the gift
As special.
Yeah. I'll give you my example. You always complain about your footwear issues, that you don't have proper winter footwear, which we live in Edmonton. Get on it.
I know. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Wear like dress boots out to walk the dog.
And they have zero grip.
So dumb. That is so dumb.
Whatever.
And so I got you a nice pair of Sorel pull-on boots to walk the dog. And you're like, oh my God, that's so nice. Mainly I got it because I don't like walking the dog as much as you when it's cold. Then you asked me where I got them from, and I said, Winners. Great store.
Love Winners.
Nothing
Big
against
fan.
Winners.
Big fan.
But it seems like I went in there without a game plan and just found something that'll work. Because they have everything there.
Yeah.
Or like a Walmart or a Superstore. Any of those sound like you got my Christmas present at a big box at a place that sells groceries. You did this yesterday with my ex-wife.
She got me the cutest little plant. And the best part is it's one that you don't need to really water.
And this was for your birthday.
For my birthday. So I texted her. I was like, you're so good at supporting local. Because last year she got me some body butter from a local woman here in Edmonton and area. And I was like, where are all these cute little stores? And she's like, oh, that plant's from Save-On. And I could tell she was kind of embarrassed. And she's like, I dropped the ball this year. I'm sorry. And I was like, no, now I know Save-On has awesome plants.
Yeah, but
so I don't think it's a big deal. But it was really funny, like the way that she was like, oh, that's just from Save-On.
Will you consider not asking people where they got your gift from?
I want to know so I can also go there to get gifts for other people. I love because I'm so bad at gift giving that I want to copy what other people do. It's like a ripple effect.
We all know what you're doing with that information. You're going to find out how much they spent on you. That's why you ask where they got it from. We all know. So nobody answer Lisa when she asks that question anymore. Woman has gone viral for her list of rules if you plan on attending her wedding. She posted a video about it. Some of them just make a whole bunch of sense, and I don't even know if they need to be said. Other ones, a little intense. Here we go.
Number 1, let's start there because everybody gets mad about this one. No kids. Number 2, don't wear white. Plain and simple. My bridesmaids have specific instructions already to dump a whole bottle of red wine on you. So let's just avoid that. Don't wear white. Number 5.
Sorry, she continues.
Whoa. Number 5, if you were not invited, you are not welcome. I will specifically write on the invitation how many plus ones you get, and that's it. Don't be bringing no random people to my wedding.
She's fired up, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. This bride who has gone viral continues.
Number 12, no big announcements. No, if you're pregnant, keep it to yourself. If you want to propose, keep that to yourself. Do not come to my wedding day taking the attention away from me and my mans. You will be tackled. My bridesmaids, you don't want to mess with them. They're scary, some of them.
So I guess she's being honest. This might sound a little sexist, but some women, it seems, the graduation vibes of like making the day just painful for everybody else because they care so much. I don't know if I've ever ran into a groom that's done that, so that's why I'm... Okay.
I have.
So, okay, I'll just reword that then. Why does it make some people go so, like, graduation crazy?
Well, and I remember being so pumped about graduation, and then when the day was over, I was like, that's it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Especially because they're so busy all day that they don't even actually maybe have any time to really soak in everything that they overthought that day.
Exactly. Like, you won't notice what color the rocks are that are in the jar on the table. If you notice that, you're probably bored of your partner and your friends and family.
But, I remember meeting a Groomzilla once. He hadn't even proposed yet, but he already had their wedding venue booked. He's like, it's one of those places where you got to book like years in advance. And he's like, and I need my groomsmen to walk in this order, this person and this person, and they have to do a dance routine, and they have to be wearing... I was listening to this, we were sitting around a fire, and I was just fascinated.
And I'm sorry, did you say they weren't engaged yet?
They weren't engaged yet, no. Really interesting.
Exhausting. Got a call from a wedding photographer who has her top 3 strangest stories that have shook down while she's been photographing weddings.
So number 3 would be the time I was called at 6 a.m. because a bride's photographer was in the hospital. And I managed to get there on time, and she was like super rude to me to begin with. She was like, yeah, they sent some random, and I'm actually like an award-winning photographer. She would have to pay more to get me. This woman, though, had a candy bar, and she saw that children were eating candy from the candy bar before she opened it, and literally left the speeches to shut down the candy bar and take all the candy from the kids.
During the speeches?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Okay,
next.
number 2.
Right as soon as one of the bridesmaids went to sing a song that she herself had made, and the entire table fell on the dance floor and smashed all the glasses of alcohol all over the elders. It was a mess.
Okay, and number 1.
Okay, are you sure? Okay, number 1. So this particular moment got over 65,000 views on TikTok. So this was a good one.
Okay.
So I went to photograph a wedding, and I was photographing the groom and the groom's party, and I introduced myself, and after I asked them to come with me to take photos, the groom looks at me and says, hey, if I don't get married today, can I get your phone number? And then turns to his groomsmen and says, did you hear that? Did you hear what I just asked her? I said, if I don't get married today, can I grab her phone number? I think I'll take her out for a drink.
Was there a vibe that he was being serious?
You never, yeah. Like the bride cried on her day. His speeches included, no one ever thought I would get married, but here we are. And then continued to talk about his 3-year-old niece and started bawling.
About how much he loved his niece.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so where can we see this 65,000 viewed video?
Okay, if you go to Coven, like COVENSYEG.
Covens?
Yeah, Covens YEG. You'll find a whole bunch of weird things that have happened to me at weddings, and the weird things that just are in the industry.
Just wrapping this up with one more story that went real bad. Fire away.
Was a couple of years ago. It was the most gorgeous wedding location, and we end up, it was like a whole day of absolute gong show. My girls and I end up trying to get there, following Google directions. We end up some logging road where I'm like straddling in my minivan these ginormous ruts in the road. It was a mess. So we get there. The bride has no idea what she's doing. There's no coordinator there whatsoever. She's like super late for her wedding, mad at everybody, like mad. We get to the reception. She and her husband end up fighting out on the back patio while the rest of us were trying to eat dinner, and then they left the wedding.
What?
They never came back. They hadn't cut the cake, so the groom's dad is like, well, everybody may as well have some cake because we're not coming back.
No,
my
that's so
God.
cringy.
It was so strange.
Ryder and Lisa.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai.
Play 107.